Military airstrikes kill 30 terrorist kingpins, fighters in Borno. Federal government declares April 7 National Day. Nassarawa state government bans ethnic vigilante groups. And on the international scene, Cameroon opens museum honoring one of its oldest and most influential kingdoms. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us. And now the details. Now, the air component of Operation Hadenkai has executed a precision airstrike on the hideouts of ISWAP terrorists, killing over 30 of the fighters or of their fighters within the Koleram village along the shores of Lake Chad. Also, in a statement signed by the Director of Public Relations and Information, Nigerian Air Force on Tuesday in Abuja, AVM Edward Gov't said the airstrikes conducted on April 13 were a decisive blow against terrorism in the northeast. He said the operation yielded significant success as the battle damage assessment post-strike conducted revealed the neutralization of over 30 terrorists. Gov't said that among those neutralized were some senior commanders of the insurgents, including Ali Dawood, Bakura Falaja, and Malam Ari. The FCT Minister Yasom Wike has handed over 100 motorcycles to security outfits in the territory. Wike said the gesture was to further tighten the knots against kidnapping and other forms of crime in the nation's capital, especially the hard-to-reach areas. The breakdown of the distribution shows that Vigilante Group of Nigeria, the VGN, got about 60 motorcycles, 10 each for the 6 area councils. Police got 30, while 5 each went to the Department of the State Services, the DSS, and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, the NSCDC. The minister warned that the motorcycles must not be used in the townships, but in hard-to-reach parts of the territory to fight insecurity, while he charged the Vigilante Group to utilize the motorcycles to assist the police and other security agencies in combating crime, particularly in the rural areas of the FCT. The minister expressed appreciation to the group for its selfless sacrifices to secure lives and property in the nation's capital.
In the rural areas, the vigilantes will use them in the 6 area councils, and then the police, the SSS, and the civil defense will also want to do with theirs. Well, let me caution, particularly to the security agencies. I don't want to hear stories tomorrow that the motorcycles are nowhere to be found again. I don't want to hear such stories. Because sometimes when you give out vehicles, before you know it, the vehicles are no longer there. Please utilize these motorcycles to fight crime in the areas you have identified.
In Oyo State, the police command has paraded 21 suspected members of the Yoruba Nation agitators who invaded the Oyo State Secretariat in Ibadan last Saturday. They were paraded alongside several exhibits covered from them at the Oyo State headquarters in Ibadan, the state capital. The report.
It has been 3 days since suspected members of the Yoruba Nation secession group invaded the Oyo State Secretariat in Agodi, attempting to seize power from the government after hoisting their flag. After engaging in a gun battle with security personnel, the suspects who were arrested and paraded by the police will face prosecution for their actions. The Commissioner of Police described the act as criminal and unpatriotic and assured residents of Oyo of the police's unwavering commitment to protecting their lives and property.
While declaring this act as criminal, unpatriotic, and a clear case of treasonable felony and terrorism, to be met with adequate sanctions through purposeful prosecutions, the command reassures the good people of Oyo State that it remains solidly unwavering to the protection of their lives and property as constitutionally required by the laws of the land.
He asked parents to prevail on their children to avoid being used as agents of chaos in the state.
In addition, I would like to use this medium to remind the criminally minded in Oyo State that Oyo State is home of many responsible, hospitable, and extremely intelligent individuals who pride themselves with creativity, hard work, and resourcefulness.
One of the suspects, Alabi Ogundeji, is a teacher at the Federal Government College, Oyo. For him, there is no going back in the attainment of their independence as they have the backing of the appropriate international authorities.
It's made us to go there what they tell us, that they have declared the interim government, that is Adele, that Adele is going to speak there, and Mama Oniti herself is coming there. They say we should go there to stay until when those people arrive. I don't know him.
Those people who engage you on online, not that you are seeing them.
I never see any one of them.
This 75-year-old man and his daughter said they were introduced to the group with promises of a better life after achieving independence. Items recovered from the suspects include guns, live carriages, cutlasses, paraphernalia of various offices with Yoruba Nation inscriptions, flags carrying Yoruba Nation inscription, amongst others.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has declared April 7 as National Police Day. He made the declaration through the Vice President Kashim Shettima at the Maiden Award and Commendations event organized by the Nigerian Police Force in Abuja on Monday night. Delivering the president's speech titled Courage Under Fire, a bouquet for our police force, the VP Shettima said at a time in Nigeria's history when the nation's security architecture is being stretched beyond elastic limits, the citizens have been able to endure in the face of security threats as well as attacks on their lives and livelihoods due to the commitment of the police. He noted that his administration had been unequivocal about its resolve to transform the Nigerian police force into a modern, professional, and accountable institution that mirrors the aspirations and values of the nation. The president listed parts of the comprehensive reforms by his administration to rejuvenate the police force to include investment in training and capacity building. According to him, this will ensure that the police officers are equipped with the knowledge, skills, values, and expertise required to tackle the complex challenges of modern policing, assuring the government that the government will upgrade equipment and technology to enhance the operational effectiveness and efficiency of the force. The Nassarawa state government has proscribed all ethnic vigilante groups operating in the state. A statement obtained on Tuesday said the state government has equally directed ethnic vigilante groups affected by the order to hand over their uniforms and weapons to the state commissioner of police within 2 weeks. Citing the powers vested in him via Section 97A of the Penal Code as well as other relevant laws, Governor A.A. Sile said he acted on the advice that the State Security Council and has banned the Fulani ethnic vigilante group known as the Ongiyar Zamalafia Basa Vigilante Group as well as the Egon Vigilante Group. Through Executive Order Number 1 of the 2024, signed by the governor and issued, the Nassarawa state government also banned any other association, movement, organization, or society affiliated with the group operating under the guise of ethnic vigilante. The Bayelsa State Independent Electoral Commission, the BICEC, has presented certificates of returns to the newly elected local government council chairman and vice chairman in the just concluded April 6th local government area polls in the state. Presenting the certificate at the Ernest Ikolo Press Center in Yenagoa, the chairman of the BICEG, Peter Singable, said the presentation is in fulfillment of the law of the local government election process in the state. Trust TV's Friday, Ebimobowe Peters completes the report.
The chairman of the state electoral umpire reminded the new elected officers to be objective in the discharge of their responsibilities, saying they are the closest government officials to the grassroots.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a brief ceremony, but very important. But this is the last step on the part of Vice-Chair in the 2024 elections. When you have your certificates and when eventually you are sworn in, you can now operate as elected chairman of 8 local government areas, and that is the third tier of government, the democratic setup at the grassroots. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, let me once again congratulate those who emerged victorious. Let me thank all of you who have turned up to witness this ceremony. Thank you and God bless.
Speaking shortly after receiving their certificates of return, the newly elected chairman of Ekiremo, Kolokuma and Sagbama LGs thanked all for their support and assured of an inclusive term in office.
My plans are clean. I want to see that we should have peace, number one. 2, I want to look into the primary schools. 3, the health care. 4, about community security. We need peace in our area. To work with the traditional rulers, the youth, and the CDCs of a Ekiremo local government area. It's an oil-based area. We need more peace to bring the wealth. And I say thanks to the governor and the deputy who has made it possible for us to see. And to my people, by giving me the mandate, will not disappoint them.
We are going to encourage agriculture. We are going to engage in youth development through trainings. Yeah, there are a lot of skills that our youth can learn and then make a living for themselves. That will take them off the streets. So we are going to engage in youth training and retraining. We are also going to engage in sports. Sports is another place that can take our youth. And then we are also going to look at our primary health care, our basic primary education.
To our people to have more knowledge, especially the girls child, I make sure that they are educated and know that to educate a woman is educating a nation. That is all those I'm going to do and more other ones I will think of.
The presentation was witnessed by representatives of security agencies and members of IPAC led by the chairman Simeon Imomotimi. From Yenagoa, Friday, Ebimobowe Peter. Trust TV News, Yenagoa.
The Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Environment, Tessa Ugbo, says addressing the issue of wildlife trade requires multifaceted approach, stricter enforcement, community engagement, and international cooperation, which will in turn play a crucial role in combating it. He made this known on Monday at a one-day policy dialogue with stakeholders on the Endangered Species Conservation and Protection Bill 2024 in Abuja. The report.
Representative Ugbo added that the situation has made Nigeria attain the unenviable status as a global hub for wildlife trafficking in recent years. Hence, the need to act swiftly to reverse the negative trend.
This bill strengthens the legal framework for Nigeria in combating wildlife trafficking. It models the provisions of existing guidelines and establishes more stringent penalties for offenders, thereby serving as sufficient deterrents to intending offenders. The aim is to dismantle the wildlife trafficking networks and disrupt their supply chains, which will significantly deter the trade and protect endangered species and their habitats.
In his submission, the Minister of Environment, Balarabe Lawal, who was represented by the Deputy Director, Department of Forestry, Razak Adekola, said outdated laws and legislations remain one of the challenges confronting sustainable forests and biodiversity conservation in the country.
Strengthening of the policy, legal, and institutional framework is pivotal to our national approach to tackling biodiversity loss, environmental challenges, and climate change. The increasing population, coupled with transboundary crime, particularly wildlife and forest crime, has continued to mount pressure on natural resources.
In his remarks, the country representative of United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, Oliver Stope, who called for further review of the legislation, noted that the current legal framework is deficient as the penalties in the laws do not accord wildlife crime the seriousness it deserves.
It is therefore an important milestone in Nigeria's efforts to combat wildlife and forest crime that we are gathered at this policy dialogue to review the Endangered Species Conservation and Protection Bill, which will significantly improve the legal framework.
The bill, when passed into law, will accelerate progress in the fight against wildlife and forest life and subsequently accelerate the protection and conservation of iconic species, especially the endangered ones.
In fulfillment of his campaign promise, the Akwa Ibom Governor Umo Eno has authorized the immediate release of 1.4 billion naira for further payment of gratuities. This was revealed in a press statement by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Ekerete Udo, on Tuesday. According to the statement, a breakdown of the payment showed that a total of 900 million naira was allocated for retired state civil servants and 500 million naira was earmarked for retired primary school teachers. The statement added that this gesture will undoubtedly help retirees cushion the harsh effects of the current economic situation in the country. You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up, Abuja residents decry poor electricity supply and billing. This and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. If you are just joining us, this is Trust News Update. Here's a recap of our top stories. Reporting military airstrikes kills 30 terrorist kingpins and fighters in Borno. And the federal government declares April 7 National Day. Moving on to more stories. Fears and apprehension continue to haunt many vulcanizers operating in Owerri, the Imo State capital, following the sudden death of one of their own. The tragic incident occurred while the vulcanizer was repairing a tipper's tire at his workshop along Aba Road in Nazi, Owerri North local government area of the state. Trust TV's Jibade Praise tells us more in this report.
Despite its seemingly million nature, the roadside vulcanizing, like many other occupations, carries its own set of hazards and risks. Without proper safety measures and technical expertise, it can result in tragic consequences, including loss of life. In rare instances, tire bursts can occur, leading to injuries or fatalities when rims hit individuals nearby. Unfortunately, such an incident claimed the life of one of the vulcanizers in the state, underscoring the importance of prioritizing safety protocols in this line of work.
So, the center I feel for road now, the person still make a manage and reach where you see vulcanize. No saying a problem when they cause. If we're gonna feel the pump out, no go reach the thing when supposed to reach. Thing feel boss, wound the person or cause problems.
Danger is that when tire weak, cannot pump it excess. Tire get normal temperature, PSI, which is pressure index. If you pump tire excess, tire will burst. So I know how I do my job. Instead of me to pump 120, 130, I do it 90.
And the worst part of it, from the mistake, for them that the customer the cause. When they tell them that the tire is bad, so they just manage them for them. You can pump the tire is blown. So not our fault.
Despite the modest remuneration they receive for their work, vulcanizers highlight that they incur significant expenses on materials essential for their job, notably fuel for their air pumping machines. While fuel prices may not be exorbitant, the cumulative cost can be bothersome considering their limited earnings from the job.
Our colleague that be there. and the pump and the thing burst, scatter in head. So this is our job. No days say government go green now, bring like machines where they use the pump the tire to bridge down so that if you burst, no go wound person.
I need help. I need tires in this workshop. I need tires so that I can help my life. You know, don't have much tire here. So what I need is tire for this shop. Any idea? I will give the return after everything.
When the tire is bad now, it's just pumping. And it pumps, the new tire is pumping out 140, 130. But when the tire goes, it pumps at 70.
As they mourn and pray for the soul of their colleague to rest in peace, they are appealing to the government at all levels to come to their aid and support them. They request assistance in form of grants to alleviate their hardships amidst the prevailing economic challenges. Ajibade Praise, Trust TV News, Owerri.
Amidst the prevalent issues of electricity supply in the country, of course, the electricity consumers in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, have expressed frustration over the disparities in power distribution linked to the categorization of customers into different bands. In an interview with Trust TV, some consumers voiced their dissatisfaction, highlighting that despite paying significant amounts for electricity units based on their band classification, they do not receive the minimum hours of supply commensurate with their expenditure. Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail tells us more.
As per the existing electricity tariff categorization, Band A customers are guaranteed 20 to 24 hours of electricity supply daily. Band B subscribers receive a minimum of 16 to 20 hours of power supply, while those in Band C are allocated 12 to 16 hours daily. However, many electricity consumers in Abuja report that they do not receive power supply in line with their designated bands.
There is no specific hour because they flash on like a traffic light. They just flash lights, you go, small time they go bring them. So it's very hard to calculate, say this is the number of hours I'm getting light. Previously, the amount I used to buy before, they will last longer for me. But when I buy now, it doesn't last like the ones for instance, if I buy a unit of 2,000 naira, it lasts like some day, like 1 week or something like that, depending on what I'm using. But now, if you buy, they even reach 3 days, 2,000 never even reach days it will finish. That's my own experience.
Definitely, I'm from Band A. And the issue of electricity is something that well, we don't have anything to say, and whatever we see, we take it like that. But light is not definitely constant. Light is not constant because right now, as I'm talking to you, since this morning, 3 o'clock this morning, they take light. As they take light, up to now, we never see light. It depends. Sometimes, when they give us light, we used to enjoy it like 8, 10 hours sometimes. And sometimes it's 5 hours, sometimes it's 3 hours, sometimes it's 7 hours. So it depends. Even when there's no light like this, even the things that we used to put on fridge, some used to spoil. So I feel bad. And definitely, as Band A, I'm supposed to enjoy light. And there's no light. I'm not enjoying it the way I'm supposed to.
The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, has mandated all distribution companies to automatically demote any Band A feeder that fails to meet the minimum requirement of 20 hours of power supply per day for 7 consecutive days. Consequently, many residents are urging electricity distribution companies to fulfill their obligations and validate their charges.
Sure, if they have something to do to reduce the money, we need that, or to get the light, to know that we are enjoying something that we are paying for.
Myself around here, we enjoy relatively between 10 and 16 hours of electricity, depending. There are some days you get up to 12. There are some days you get up to that 16. For Band B people, which I'm part of. But comparatively, we are being shortchanged sometimes.
NERC previously approved an increase in the electricity tariff for Ban Air customers from approximately 66 naira to 225 naira per kilowatt hour for the various distribution companies in the country, marking a 240% increase. However, it is evident that authorities in the electricity sector must take decisive actions to rectify the numerous discrepancies in tariff classification and improve electricity supply nationwide. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
On the international scene, Cameroon has opened a museum in honor of one of its oldest and most influential kingdoms. The building architecture pays homage to the emblem of the bamoon, a double-headed snake, a spider, and a double-mounted gong. Over 10,000 artifacts, most of whom century-old objects of art, are housed near the royal palace of Bamoons. One of the king of Nabil Mbombon Joya, the 20th ruler of the Bamoons, inaugurated the museum alongside Culture Minister Pere Ismail Bidong Mupat. The Bamoon Kingdom is one of the oldest in sub-Saharan Africa. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust TV News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news programs and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.